morning, everyone. Paul Ruppel here with Fox 29 News Now. We're bringing you latest breaking news, stories, and reports from around the nation, and live shots when we have them, different events as they occur. We're on each weekday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. I want to start out with the major breaking news that occurred yesterday. This was about President Trump and two of his advisors during the 2016 campaign and his personal attorney. There's been two big developments on two legal fronts for the White House, and one of them comes very close to the president himself. Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort was found guilty on several charges, federal charges, just as former Trump's attorney Michael Cohen cut a deal with prosecutors. Doug Luzader has more from Washington this morning.
Primarily both of them face charges for their own business dealings, and that's something the White House will certainly point out. But Cohen is interesting because he also pled guilty to two campaign finance violations that involve the president.
President Trump didn't seem to miss a step last night as he led a boisterous rally in West Virginia. But it didn't take long for the special counsel's investigation to come up.
Fake news and the Russian witch hunt. We got a whole big combination. Where is the collusion?
Just hours earlier, the president's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was found guilty of 8 financial crimes, a win for special counsel Robert Mueller.
It doesn't involve me, but I still feel, it's a very sad thing that happened. This has nothing to do with Russian collusion.
And the president is right that the charges against Manafort don't directly relate to him, but his former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is another matter. He pled guilty yesterday to charges that include campaign finance violations, payments to 2 women believed to be former adult film star Stormy Daniels and former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal, that he claims came at the direction of what prosecutors only describe as a candidate for federal office. And that may be a problem for the president.
If the prosecutors accept what is in this indictment, then the president just became an unindicted co-conspirator.
Which is not to say the president will necessarily be indicted, but the bigger concern for the White House is Congress. If Democrats take over the House come November, they could, in theory, use this information to build an impeachment case against the president. So there's a political component to all of it.
That was Fox's Doug Luzader reporting from Washington with the latest on this story. I want to get you, of course, you saw some of the president's reaction last night at a rally in West Virginia, but now he is reacting on Twitter, and here are some of the things he's had to say. First one was, if anyone is looking for a good lawyer, I would strongly suggest that you don't retain the services of Michael Cohen. Of course, that was his personal attorney, who has now pled guilty to charges in the Southern District of New York. The president went on to add, let's get you the next one. I feel very badly for Paul Manafort and his wonderful family. Justice, in quotation marks, took a 12-year-old tax case, among other things, applied tremendous pressure on him, and unlike Michael Cohen, he refused to make up stories in order to get a deal. Such respect for a brave man. That's led to reports that the president has basically accused Michael Cohen of making up stories to get a deal after his lawyer pled guilty in a campaign finance charge. The president went on, a large number of counts, 10, could not even be decided by a jury. Could not even be decided in the Paul Manafort case, witch hunt. He went on to say Michael Cohen pled guilty to 2 counts of campaign finance violations that are not a crime. President Obama had a big campaign finance violation, and it was easily settled. So there you see some of the president's reaction to the news yesterday. Take a live look at Capitol Hill here. There will, of course, be more reporting from Washington, D.C. on this throughout the day. On Fox29.com, we have a couple stories posted right now about the verdict yesterday in the Manafort case, the guilty plea in the Cohen case. One headline, what Cohen's plea and Manafort's verdict mean for Trump. Another headline, Trump facing growing controversy as Cohen Manafort charged. So we have more information for you there. Feel free to visit and read up more if you want to continue following this story. Let's get you to another local story. This is breaking news from Fox 29's Dave Stratweiser. According to our Dave Stratweiser, homicide detectives have one teen in custody for the murder of 18-year-old track star Kristen Marche. Christian was bound for Penn State on a track and field scholarship. Sadly, someone shot him in his driveway on Pastorius Street back on August 13th. He was rushed to Einstein Medical Center where he died. I believe I just saw that Philadelphia Police will be holding a news conference on this around 1 o'clock today, so keep an eye on fox29.com and Fox 29's Facebook page for more information. We'll get that news conference for you if we can bring it to you live. In Lehigh County, a priest is facing sex assault charges involving a teenage girl. Sabina Kyriakos has been reporting from St. Francis of Assisi Church in Allentown this morning and has more details in this report.
The priest allegedly used Snapchat after he got the 17-year-old girl's number to reach out to her, and he started sexting her. According to prosecutors, it happened here. It started at this church, St. Francis of Assisi, right before Mass about a year ago. That's where the district attorney says that the priest first met the 17-year-old girl. Now, prosecutors say 30-year-old priest Kevin Lonergan got the girl's phone number from a fellow parishioner, and that's when he began using social media, allegedly to send her nude photos of himself. Lonergan then allegedly escalated. The DA says he groped the girl earlier this year, again at the same church. Now, we're told the minor reported the alleged assault to a teacher at Central Catholic High School. Here is the district attorney talking about the case.
Many of these communications were sexual in nature and occurred via Snapchat, a social media application through which users can share photos and video. During some of the electronic communications, it is alleged that Lonergan sent nude images of himself to the victim.
It does create mistrust. Some parents may second guess themselves. I mean, for me, it's kind of bad because I probably wouldn't trust my child alone with a priest.
Now, a parishioner that we spoke with, they're obviously disturbed by the allegations. Now, the Allentown Diocese says that it reported the alleged assault as soon as it was made aware of it, and that says that the bishop removed Lonergan from public ministry just a day after learning of the allegations. Now, he has been charged with indecent assault and corruption of minors. That is a felony. Now, while the accusations against Lonergan came 1 week after that bombshell Pennsylvania grand jury report, which named more than 300 priests accused of abuse, the district attorney says Lonergan's case is separate from that investigation. In fact, his investigation happened after that grand jury report was filed this morning. We know that Lonergan is out free on bail, $50,000 unsecured bail. We're told he lives in Pottsville with his parents. Back to you.
That was Fox 29's Sabina Kyriakos reporting from Allentown, outside the church there, St. Francis of Assisi. I want to get you a story about another indecent assault, sadly. A man accused of groping girls has surrendered. Police in Bucks County say they caught the man accused of inappropriately touching teenage girls inside local Target stores. Warrington Township Police arrested 41-year-old Scott Rayla of Horsham yesterday. Police say the first incident involving a 15-year-old happened last Thursday at the Target in Warrington. They also discovered a 13-year-old was also groped. Rayla is also accused of assaulting a 12-year-old girl at the Target in Langhorne on Monday. He is being held on 10% of $1 million bail. We're reaching out to police to see if there are any updates today on this story. Let's get you to another story. Meek Mill, the entertainer, Pennsylvania Supreme Court has shot down his request to have his judge removed. The court ruled that Meek Mill must go through the regular process of appealing Judge Janice Brinkley's decision to deny him a new trial. His attorneys say they'll now ask the state superior court to hear their appeal. An attorney for Brinkley says the court's decision is, quote, no surprise. So again, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court saying that entertainer Meek Mill will have to go through the regular process of appealing the judge's decision to deny him a new trial. The judge will not be taken off the case. Let's get you a look at national business. United Airlines gives passengers a new seating option, and Facebook weeds out suspicious accounts. Fox Business Network's Tracy Carrasco has more in today's Morning Business Outlook.
Good morning. A historic run on Wall Street. The bull market set to become the longest ever, and it comes after the S&P 500 hit a fresh record high in yesterday's trade. Facebook says it removed 652 pages, groups, and accounts linked to Iran and separately Russia for the sharing of misleading political material. This comes amid stepped-up efforts to rid the platform of this type of activity and as concern that Russia and others are trying to interfere with the 2018 midterm elections following Facebook's role in the 2016 presidential election. United Airlines will start charging passengers to reserve select seats near the front of the plane. These so-called preferred seats don't come with any other perks like extra legroom. They're just regular seats near the front of the main cabin, but viewed as preferred because you don't have to walk as far down the aisle to get to your seat, and you are among the first few off the plane. That's business. For more, log on to foxbusiness.com. In New York, I'm Tracy Carrasco.
That was Tracy Carrasco with your Morning Business Outlook. Let's take a look at Ultimate Doppler right now. You can see a little bit of rain moving in. We've got some flash flood. I believe they're watches, but I'll double check on that for you. We're expecting a sunny stretch ahead. A cold front will make its way across our area with fair weather, and high pressure will build in behind it. So we're having morning clouds but increasing sun. Let's get you the details on those. Flood warnings. And they are for the Schuylkill River at Norristown, affecting Chester, Montgomery, and Philadelphia counties. And there's also one in Lehigh County, northwestern Bucks, and Northampton County. That's until 10:45 a.m. Due to reported flooding across the warned area, the Little Lehigh Creek remains above flood stage at Little Lehigh Park in Allentown. So those are your locations right now. Let's get you a look at live conditions here. Philadelphia, where looks like, I think we've warmed up a little bit since these numbers. Let's get you a look at conditions outside our studio. You're looking at Market Street and the intersection with 3rd Street. It's 76 degrees outside. The dew point is 69. So about as humid as yesterday. I think the number was very similar yesterday. It's getting a little sticky out there again. Winds out of southwest at 10 miles per hour. It's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday this hour in some parts. In Philadelphia, it's pretty close to normal, but already a bit warmer in Trenton, 6 degrees warmer. Mount Pocono, 6 degrees warmer. Allentown, 2. Pottstown, 4. At the shore, only about 2 degrees warmer than normal. Here's a quick look at satellite, so you can see some of the conditions out there and visibility. As far as temperatures go, we're expecting it to warm into the 80s in the middle part of today. Mid-80s, 83, 84, before cooling down to 79 around sundown, 79, and then 75 by 10 p.m. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast from the Fox 29 Weather Authority. 84 with gradual clearing today. We're calling it a 7, but sunny and nice, 79 on Thursday. We're calling that a 10, and another perfect 10 on Friday. Sunny and pleasant with a high of 82. Those overnight lows in the 60s make it nice to open your windows, get some fresh air in, if you've had the AC on for a bit. Saturday will be sun and clouds, 83. Sunday, warm and nice, 86. And Monday, we're heating up to 91. Tuesday's hot and humid at 92. So some back to the 90s, chance of a heat wave. We'll see. You've got 2 days in the 90s there to start the next work week. Let's take one more look at radar here so you can see. There are some light showers, it looks like, entering into Chester County, maybe Delaware County after that. The ones up north have pretty much broken apart, so. This morning on Good Day, we had a red-shirting debate. You've probably heard the term when it comes to sports, but now parents are using it when it comes to their kids' education. I've more commonly heard it as, holding back your student, waiting an extra year until kindergarten. But here's a discussion about why some moms and dads are choosing to delay kindergarten.
Right now. Yep. You probably have heard the term redshirting, and usually this is a term you'd use for college sports. You have a player that sits out a whole year that they could be doing it so that they can be eligible for another year. But we're using this a lot with education and kids. So my son Kellen, it happens to be 5 years old. So the question is, should he go to kindergarten this year or should he go next year? And what do you do? So,
or maybe go to the same kindergarten class twice.
I would probably switch schools. So we decided to bring in some experts. I know a lot of you were dealing with the same thing. You had this in your own life and your decision.
My little girl, Jill, repeated kindergarten.
So we have Dr. Kim Dean, who is the chair of the School of Education at Arcadia University. Oh, that's your picture. That's Jill right there.
Yeah, I'll explain that picture in just a second.
So we're bringing in our guests. So, Doctor, thank you so much for coming in. And then Tracy Smith, she's one of our producers, and she's here reluctantly. So we're going to encourage her on because you have a very personal stake with this because you had this decision with your son. Good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Does it normally start with when your child was born? What month? Like August, September, late July, something like that?
So the real decision about redshirting happens for kids who are born in the summer months. The cutoffs usually are the 1st of September. Some schools have earlier cutoffs like the 1st of August that you should be 5 before you're entering kindergarten. So the idea of redshirting is appropriate. It's really a reasonable question to ask if you have that summer birthday.
What is the idea that if you're born in the summer, you're almost a year younger than the other people in this same class?
Right. So parents who are struggling with this decision are thinking, would my child have an advantage being instead the oldest kid in the class? But as opposed to going in with the scenario where they're one of the younger kids in the class.
Okay, let's go back 5 years, right, Tracy?
Yeah, more than that. About 5 this weekend. He's 10.
And Jeffrey?
So he is August 26th, so he made the cut. He had gone to preschool at the same school. He went first part-time, then he wanted to go full-time. He made his little lunch and said, please let me go. So I let him do that, and then when it was time for the test, the kindergarten test, I asked the preschool teacher who we had right now and the kindergarten teacher who had my daughter and kind of knew the curriculum, what do you think? Do you think he can do it? And they said he can do it. He can do the work. So I said, okay, I'll rather him go forward and push himself than make it almost easier for him. Because there's things that he's really good at, like sports and things like that, but I wanted him to be pushed. So I felt he'd be bored if he didn't do that.
Okay, now he's 10?
He will be, yeah.
So what do you think of your decision 5.5, 6 years ago?
I'm so glad I did it. Yeah, because I think he would have just goofed off because his personality is just very jokey. So if he already felt like he knew the information, he'd probably be like cracking jokes on the side instead of really buckling down.
And part of this is a conversation with boys because, I had the 3 boys, you have 3 boys, this was a boy that you made a decision with. And so sometimes I struggle with prevalence of ADHD and all these diagnoses that sometimes kids, they can't sit still, but they're a full year younger, even more than some of the kids if they've been held, for another year. And that's one of the things that I struggle with. Do you see that at all?
Yeah, and I would say one of the most important decisions is thinking about a wiggly body is managed by great kindergarten teachers for all time. That's an expectation of kindergarten. What a wiggly body needs is a great engaging curriculum. So sometimes going through kindergarten curriculum again for an already wiggly body, you know, her concern was if I'm not appropriately challenging my kid, if my child is not feeling like the next thing I'm growing into, you know, then you might have more issues with, you know, behavior and frustration.
Okay.
And the social picture, too.
Again, you're at Arcadia University.
Correct.
And you're like the head of the education department?
School of Education, yeah.
And your last name's Dean?
Dean,
what are the
yeah.
odds of
How about
anyway.
that?
Okay, so you studied this. Is there a definitive answer? If you had a 5-year-old born in August, what would you do?
I would I know my kid best, so I know their disposition. I've had this conversation many times with clients in my private practice as a school psychologist, and with my college friends who I just happened to have kids before they did. And so I've had friends with young little girls, who they chose to send them forward and are so glad they did, because they're hungry for school. They're hungry to jump in and be busy, and that they would have been really frustrated with a 4-year-old conversation. They're ready for a first-grade conversation.
My little daughter Jill born on August 30th, so we had to make that decision. We decided to do the same kindergarten class with the same teacher who was a nun, and I think it really helped her out. She loved this teacher so much that she dressed up like her for Halloween.
How cute.
It helped her to do that. But should you do another year of preschool or do the same kindergarten class over?
Again, context really matters. So if you were in a school where it was kindergarten right into first grade, the kindergarten teacher there knows the preschool teacher knows what's happening in kindergarten. So she can say she's not ready for this particular kindergarten, where in another scenario, you're not thinking about going into the kindergarten that's at the same preschool. So that, in my view, would be doing another year of pre-K.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do 2 kindergartens. I'm at like a preschool system, then I'll move over to the public school. So we'll do one there and then one over here.
So again, Trace, you're happy?
I'm glad I did it, because I know that he needs to get his energy out, so I let him do football, wrestling, and then when he's done, I'm like, take a shower, now you got to sit and do your work. I think if he didn't do that, he would not be able to pay attention.
So I think there is no definitive answer. It's what's right for your family and for your situation.
Yeah, every kid is different.
Absolutely. And I would just make one quick caveat. If there are issues, concerns, thinking another year is going to make a difference, what you really might need is to talk to a pediatrician. A year of intervention in a kindergarten really might be what you need. Early intervention, 1 in 6 kids need speech, developmental support.
Real quickly, you want to get a nice tight shot of Tracy for your closing thoughts? See, you survived.
Yay! Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, doctor. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yesterday, we told you about Madonna.
That was our Good Day discussion this morning on redshirting, holding students back an extra year for kindergarten. Our Good Day Planning editor, Tracy Schmid, joining the crew on air. Want to get you to a story that we had earlier this morning. This is a fatal hit and run that occurred in Bucks County near an ice cream shop. You're seeing some footage from that incident right now. There's new information that's come into us this morning. The police have released video of a surveillance photo of a car that they believe was involved in this incident. This happened at around 9 o'clock last night. An elderly man was struck and killed. We have pictures of the car. Let's show that to you right now. This is a surveillance picture of the car that police have released. It's described as a dark blue or black 4-door sedan. The car is missing its right front passenger hubcap and has damage to its windshield as well. The incident happened in front of JoJo's Ice Cream and Water Ice on the 8800 block of New Falls Road in Levittown. These photos were given to us earlier this morning. We did have photos of the scene from courtesy of Levittown Now, so we thank them for those. They showed investigators on the scene trying to process the evidence that included the man's shoes and clothes left in the roadway right near the pedestrian crosswalk. Soon after the incident, witnesses and community members took to Facebook to express their sadness and horror. We're told the driver of that car did not even brake after hitting the man. Police on scene described the man as elderly and relying on a cane. The owner of the ice cream shop tells us he was a regular there. So again, police are looking for that car. If you have any information, call Falls Township Police in Bucks County. They are actively searching for the owner of that vehicle, or the operator, and hoping to make an arrest in the deadly hit and run that occurred there. Let's get you to another discussion. This was our Sabina Kuriakose appearing twice in one show this morning. She was at a community cleanup this morning. Let's show you what was happening out there.
They go back September the 6th. So members of the community and the mayor are out there cleaning up the place, and that's Sabina right there too.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, 2 weeks before the kids get over here. This is called Pride Academy. Oh, here she is. Hey, Katrina. This is the superintendent, Katrina McCombs, of the school district, getting her hands dirty for these kids. Listen, when I got here, this was a back-to-school cleanup story, and then I talked to you, and my heart just exploded because of the way you care about these kids. Tell me why we're here.
We're here to just make sure that the environment is welcoming for our students who are coming back. We are resetting this building. The district is taking over the operation of our alternative education program.
That's right, because now you have the staff to help out these kids that are most at risk, you were telling me.
The kids who are most at risk, our most vulnerable youth, are here. And they've been either adjudicated or they've had disruptions in their academic journeys for whatever reason. And we want them to be able to come back and feel welcome so that they can get back on track, and we can shepherd them through to graduation and beyond.
That is the ultimate goal, right? A lot of some kids, people that maybe have been given up on, that now you want them to come here, see the cleanup, see the beauty, and know that you're making the effort.
Exactly. And so they see that we all care, that so many people care about them, because the narrative often for their lives is that they may be throwaways or they may have gotten into trouble, so that there is no second chance. But we want them to know that we are all here as a community to work with them to move their dreams forward. So
you are their second chance, and I can tell just from talking to you how much you do care. So thank you so much.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Look at her. They're digging up around here. Oh, here's the mayor over here.
How are you? Good.
Hey, Mayor. This is Mayor Frank Moran.
Yes, how's
also
everyone?
Getting look how dirty your gloves are. You really are working.
Absolutely. We're planting beautiful flowers and getting it all spruced up for our children once they get here September 6th. Just a great partnership.
What's the impact you want when those kids come through the school doors and they see, you're working inside and outside to really beautify the academy?
I think I equate that just how they get ready for school and get brand new school clothes and everything. We want them to have a beautiful building, fresh paint, beautiful flowers, clean floors, and a great environment, great learning environment.
And to feel that impact. And also I do want to mention, because we do have, it's your staff who are volunteering, it's a school district staff. We also have American Water over here. They got that new building. You can see it right from the bridge over on the waterfront. And they're out here because it's part of, trying to get everybody involved.
Absolutely. It's more than bricks and mortar. They're actually putting some sweat equity in the city, and that's true partnership. There are no silos here. The Board of Education, Katrina McCombs, American Water, Mayor Moran, the administration, we're all working collectively, and this is what we get. A beautiful day, no rain.
No rain, sunshine.
Yes.
Gorgeous, yeah, and teamwork all around. You have so many people getting their hands dirty. Mayor, thank you so much for chatting with us. Let's just show you guys. Look how hard they're working. They're clearing up here some of the mud and the weeds. They've been pulling up weeds all morning long. Some of the lots around here, they actually have construction equipment around the corner, pushing around all of that dirt. They're going to beautify that area. So lots of fun. Look at that, getting right down there. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sabina.
Decent looking patio, I'll tell you that. All right, tell me the triple with the Ziploc.
So this is what
Again, that was Fox 29 Sabina Kuriakose out at the community cleanup event there. She was with Katrina McCombs, the Camden City School District Acting State Superintendent. Their Camden residents and employees were sprucing up local schools today. Students in Camden are set to return to school on Thursday, September 6th. Speaking of back to school, our own Hank Flynn was out at Temple University this morning as students were moving into their dorms. Let's show you some of his visit there.
So you weren't listening to Scott because you weren't listening to Sam.
No, I didn't hear what Sam said. What did she say?
No.
Get out to Hank
quickly?
quickly?
She said yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Hi, Hank.
He's at Temple moving in.
Yeah, moving in here to the Morgan dorms, guys. It's the story of the difference in the way a dude lives and the way a lady lives. Well, let's get to that. Jared, Chris, Benjamin, right? Yeah. All right, so Benjamin, talk to me about the way a guy lives, which you're just figuring out because you're 18. It's like literally the first day out from underneath your parents' table, right?
Right.
Table. Yeah, so how's it feel?
It feels great. I mean, it's exciting. It's like a new adventure, I guess.
Are you all going to fill the walls with tapestries and have lots of decorations in here and lots of food cooking?
Probably not. We're all on like the dining plan, so we have that covered. And decorations, I haven't seen any yet, so we'll figure those out later.
We'll get it worked out. There's going to be a lot of temple pennants up on the wall. Now, we're going to move next door. Benjamin, thank you. Good luck this semester. All business majors, by the way, guys. Smart kids in here. And look at what we got now. It's Reem, Amanda, Alyssa, and Annie's room. I use my polite knock. Hi, ladies. How are you? What's going on, gang? All right. Okay, first of all, let's make the point that they've been in here for something like an hour, and already this room looks like Martha Stewart's college dream. Look at this bed. Oh, my gosh. It's like a flippin' showroom. Now, what is your name, young lady? Is this your bed? Yeah. You're Annie? Yeah. All right, so Annie, talk to me about it. Listen, you're going to be comfortable. You're going to get good grades because this feels like home.
Yeah. Just brought everything from home.
Everything that you need. Now, are these your parents, sir? Are you Annie's? You got to do what you got to do, right?
That's exactly right.
All right, it's whatever's going to make her happy, and trust me, all this stuff, all the other girls' rooms are good too. The table's even set. The table's set for a big, smart semester of A grades, guys. Moving in at Temple. Back to you.
live there now,
Okay.
much less college.
I did research.
Okay.
A 4-person apartment in Morgan Hall is paying $5,717 per semester.
Oh, per semester.
So it's like $10,000
That's
for
not
the
so
year.
bad.
It's not bad. Can I move into Morgan Hall?
I never had 2 bedrooms and a
dining room table?
I had a square room with a roommate who stunk and a bathroom down the hall.
Me too. You had to make the walk
And you were
of
happy
shame.
for that freedom.
Yes, I was.
Out the basement.
Because my parents hated me and I wanted to get out of the house. Serena Williams is coming to Philadelphia, by the way. She also says she's regretting.
That was Hank Flynn having a little bit of fun with the students out at Temple University as they move in today, get ready for the fall semester. Let's get you a live look at the stock market. Stocks right now trading down 42 points on the New York Stock Exchange. Dow Jones Industrial Average still at 25,777. Stock futures were pointing lower as a political storm stirs around former Trump allies, was one of the headlines on Fox Business this morning. Oil prices are inching up as U.S. crude supply drops. Saw another one on wires. Let me get that for you. U.S. home sales fell 0.7%, fourth straight monthly decline. So the sales of existing homes has slipped for the 4th consecutive month. That kind of shows that the real estate market is showing signs of cooling. But overall, stocks holding relatively steady, just down 35 points right now, less than a little over a tenth of a percentage point. Let's get you to some more national news. 2 major stories that broke yesterday, in addition to all the political news we had. There were big developments yesterday in 2 crime stories being followed by the national press. An arrest has been made in the case of the missing college student from Iowa, and a judge in Colorado denied bail for the man accused of killing his pregnant wife and 2 young daughters. Attorney Fred Tesey joined Good Day Philadelphia this morning to discuss both cases.
7:33.
We're following major developments in 2 big national stories this morning.
Yeah, in Iowa, police arrested the man they believe killed Molly Tibbetts, the Cohen, after he led them to her body yesterday. So he's 24 years old, was living in the United States illegally for maybe the last 7 years, facing first-degree murder charges.
The other big story we're following is out in Colorado. A judge has denied bail for that man, that father who's now accused of killing his pregnant wife and their 2 very young girls. So 2 big upsetting stories. You brought in our attorney Fred Tesey here to discuss both of those cases.
Hey,
Good
Fred.
morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So let's go back to
sad.
Iowa.
So sad.
How did they find Molly's killer?
You know, it was a crime that ostensibly had no witnesses and hardly any forensic evidence. They found her through good old-fashioned police work. Due diligence, intelligence, perseverance. Really take my hat off to the police department and the law enforcement officials in Iowa who found this young woman.
Well, she was out on a jogging trail and then runs into this guy, he says, in a confession. So there's no tape or no witnesses, like you say.
Nothing.
Well, there is tape, is how they figured out.
Of his car,
Of his car. There was no tape of him. And so it was kind of, before, what they did is they gathered as much evidence as they could, and then they went and they interviewed him. You know, you just can't walk up to someone and say, oh, by the way, did you kill that young woman? I mean, you have to be armed with evidence and information. I mean, that's just good old-fashioned police work with some modern-day electronic tools. And if I was law enforcement, you know, a guy doesn't wake up one morning and decide to go kill a young woman on a jog. So if I'm law enforcement, I'm looking at every place that this guy lived in the last 20 years, 15 years, and determining whether or not there's any unsolved crimes that fit this
What did he say?
characteristics.
So Molly's jogging. He comes up on her, starts to run with her, and she says, listen, I'm going to call 911.
Yep.
Then he said he blacked out and has no idea how she died.
Yeah, he blacked out. That's what he killed her, is what he did, and he took her body and he dumped it in a cornfield. I mean, it ain't rocket science.
And he told the police where to find her.
He told the police where to find her, which is pretty compelling evidence.
Well, you would think.
Yeah. He's done. Put a fork in him.
It's interesting that he stayed there in that area. All right, lots of debate about that one.
Well, if they were any smarter, sometimes we wouldn't catch them. But that's a whole other story.
Let's go from Iowa to Colorado then.
This case, again, the father comes out saying that his family is missing. I don't think that people, when they first watch that, pass the test where they really believe that necessarily. And then all of a sudden, we now have, he leads them again to the bodies in this case.
Well, he did after she was reported missing, did interviews on TV saying, now I admit, she and I were having an emotional discussion last night, but I don't want to get into that. By the way, that's her
father, who just, my heart breaks every time I see that footage.
So then, does he still say that this Christopher Watts guy, the killer, does he still say and tries to convince us that his wife killed their daughters?
Yeah, that's what he's trying to argue, that he told his wife that he wanted a divorce, and in reaction, she went and strangled the life out of her 2 young daughters, and then, and then he, in a rage, kills her. The guy is the most despicable, reprehensible human being. And I'll tell you what, every once in a while there are crimes that just society's outrage just dictates the death penalty. And there is a death penalty in Colorado, and I looked at the statute, and in my opinion, the guy qualifies for it.
Well, clearly the prosecutors don't believe that that's the case, that
she did it.
Killed her own little girls, and her friend has come out publicly and said there's no way those girls were her word.
There's no way. I mean, look. Kudos to the guy's lawyer on some level, because he came up with a defense. He came up with a defense that fits with the evidence. But I mean, it's not plausible. It doesn't make any sense, and
that's why
obnoxious, quite frankly.
The killer's attorney wanted DNA samples from the little girls' necks because they were going to try to prove that it was the mother's hands that killed them.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Well, the judge said, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that. Look, when you make arguments like that, you have to have some facts, some factual basis to back it up. And then if you did, then it would be one thing for the judge to say, okay, here's some evidence. I mean, the wife, we have, obviously this didn't happen, but we have evidence of the wife being physically abusive to the children in the past. That would be one thing. But there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. So some fancy, kind of quite frankly, twisted theory that the defense comes up with doesn't give them the right to go on a fishing expedition.
And she, again, was
pregnant. She was pregnant.
15 weeks pregnant.
I'll tell you what.
In fact, they had organized, I think in a couple of days, a gender reveal party inside that house.
Ugh. Dead is not dead enough for me for that guy.
For that guy.
Yep.
All right, Fred,
sorry.
thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't we take a break?
Yeah.
Wow. Come back.
That was Fred T.C., attorney, and I believe he's former federal prosecutor, talking a bit about the case there, a couple of cases there. One being the suspect arrested in Molly Tibbetts' murder. She's the missing Iowa student, or was missing. Her body was found, unfortunately. It was reported yesterday. And the Colorado man who has charged with killing his wife and 2 daughters. That conversation happening on Good Day Philadelphia this morning. I want to get you an update on a story. Let's see if we can pull up some video with this. I think it's the second clip here. Oh. there have been more arrests made now, 3 suspects in the case of detectives who were shot in Camden. The 2 remaining men who were sought in that case are now in custody. This was the ambush shooting of 2 New Jersey police detectives earlier this month. Camden County Police Chief Scott Thompson said in a statement Tuesday that 19-year-old Alexander DeJesus and 26-year-old Amar Hall had been arrested in Philadelphia. 21-year-old Juan Figueroa was arrested Saturday in Gloucester City, New Jersey. All 3 men face charges of attempted murder, aggravated assault, and weapons offenses. The plainclothes detectives were found as they sat in their unmarked SUV at a red light on August 7th. So, can't get you pictures of the suspects at this moment, but we've been following that story for you on Fox 29 for the last couple weeks since the shooting occurred, almost 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago. Now all 3 suspects are in custody. Let's go back to weather. Here is a look at ultimate Doppler radar. Scott Williams has been giving you the forecast all morning long today. National Weather Service is saying also that a few showers or T-storms are especially later this afternoon and this PM, this morning and this AM and PM, they said, as the cold front moves through. Highs this afternoon mostly in the 80s. Humid this morning, then drier air settles in late today, and especially tonight, setting the stage for a very nice end to the week. So it should be a nice end to the week. We are looking forward to that. Here's a look at the heat index right now. It's at least 76 in Philly. Maybe it might even be a little bit higher than that now, the feels like temperature. Northeast temperatures warming up already. 80 in Ocean City, Maryland. 60s back in the northwest there. 76 in Philly. You see 80s along the Gulf of Mexico. 60s in the Pacific Northwest and West Coast. Vegas and Phoenix in the 80s already. Boston a bit cooler at just 69 degrees so far today. You'll hear me every once in a while turn the audio down for a moment. We're in the Technical Operations Center here in the Fox 29 newsroom, so you will hear announcements as they come over the speaker. Right now, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast for the Poconos. Looks like we'll get to 70 degrees tomorrow, 75 on Friday, 70s through the weekend, and then warm into the 80s next week. That's similar to our temperatures here in Philadelphia. Could touch 90s to start next week. And here's your shore 7-day. You see 80s, low to mid 80s through Sunday. Nice sunny days Thursday and Friday. We are calling those perfect 10s. And then potentially a heat wave Monday through Wednesday at the shore point. So if you're getting down the shore for vacation ahead of Labor Day, we're getting pretty close to Labor Day there. Could be in a heat wave. Here's the 7-day forecast for the city and suburbs. 84 today, calling that a 7 on our weather by the numbers. 10 perfect 10s Thursday and Friday, as I mentioned. 79, sunny and nice on Thursday. Sunny and pleasant on 82 on Friday. Lows in the 60s overnight right now. Saturday and Sunday, we're at 83 and 86, sun and clouds, and warm and nice on Sunday. Monday, we're heating up, 91, and then hot and humid, 92. You see the overnight lows getting back into the mid-70s. Temperatures rising there. Here's a look at Market Street East at 3rd Street, right outside our Fox 29 studios. 76 degrees with a dew point of 69. So humidity is here. Not as bad as we've seen this summer, but still pretty sticky. Winds out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. let's get you a look at conditions around the area. We'll show you our regional weather cameras right now. Looks like some nice conditions out there for beachgoers at the shore points especially. Let's step away for a moment and we'll be right back.
Check out the Fox 29 Facebook page from your phone. Breaking news, weather authority updates, even chat with your favorite Fox 29 personalities. Download the app and start following now.
What is the distance around a circle called?
Circumference.
Nailed it! Yes! Hey, it's Richard Curtis here, host of the new game show coming to Fox 29, The Classroom. Who invented the telephone?
Alexander Graham Bell.
She nailed it! It's teachers versus students going head-to-head in the classroom. If you're a principal or authorized school official, here's your first homework assignment. Go to theclassroom.com to learn how you can be a part of the show. Thanks for being a part of The Classroom. Gotta go.
How much are tickets to see the Q?
They're free.
Wait a minute. How much?
The tickets are free.
Be a part of the audience. Go to fox29.com/Q tickets.
Bye, bye, bye.
If you love Good Day during the week, then don't miss Good Day Philadelphia weekend. News, weather, stories in your community.
Uh-oh, a sneak peek.
Check out what's happening around the area. There's only one place to be, in the know. Good Day Philadelphia weekend, starting at 7 a.m. We go there.
All right, let's recap for you one of our developing stories from this morning. Police in Bucks County are searching for a driver in a fatal hit-and-run accident that occurred near an ice cream stand in Falls Township. They released surveillance pictures this morning showing a car they believe to be involved in the incident. The hit-and-run killed an elderly man around 9 o'clock last night. Let's show you the car, the picture of the car that the police have released. They say this car is missing its right front passenger hubcap and has damage to its windshield as well. It's described as a dark blue or black four-door sedan. The incident happened in front of JoJo's Ice Cream and Water Ice on the 8800 block of New Falls Road in Levittown. And soon after the incident, witnesses and community members took to Facebook to express their sadness and horror. We're told the driver of that car did not even brake after hitting the man. Police on scene described the man as elderly and relying on a cane. The owner of the ice cream tells us he was a regular there. So again, police in Falls Township, Bucks County are actively searching for this vehicle. If you have any information, please contact Falls Township Police in Bucks County and let them know what it is that you know. We're going to sign off here. Fox 29 News Now. Not many live events right now going on. There's just some Senate hearings that for appointments and things of that matter. I want to thank you very much for visiting us today, watching with us as we bring you some of the latest updates and stories from around the area. We're here weekdays from 10 to 11 a.m. in the Technical Operations Center here at Fox 29 in the newsroom. Thank you very much for watching.